Meow and hello. The cat protector Noel Rosen here with Icarus. And you are watching Paws on Politics. Well, it's been an interesting week. This past Thursday night, the the VP arena, as we like to call it, the VP debate happened. The vice presidential debate happened between, well, Crazy Joe Biden, who is the current VP, and Congressman Paul Ryan. And of course, Martha Raddatz was there to host from ABC News. She was the moderator. Terrible, terrible moderating. I mean, I don't know what to say about this, but it was, I think, pretty brutal, and I'll tell you why. It was clear Congressman Ryan won that debate based on the facts. He was great at presenting the facts, and he was very professional, very, very courteous to the moderator and to his opponent, Crazy Joe Biden. And what was interesting, though, was apparently Biden was rude, disruptive, condescending, arrogant, basically smirking when, Ryan was, talking and giving his talking points, constantly bullying and pushing himself onto Ryan when Ryan was speaking, and which was rather rude. He was very rude and very disrespectful to his opponent. And that didn't help matters any because, well, Martha Raddatz she didn't really tell Joe to back off. She didn't really tell him that he was being disrespectful. In fact, there were some moments where she seemed to be helping Biden by interrupting Paul Ryan. So it's clear that the liberal media is on Obama's side. And it was just really, really terrible. I don't know what people were thinking by allowing ABC News to even moderate a debate. But, well, it was the one and only one. Ryan won on the facts. There really wasn't a clear winner. I would say there wasn't a knockout blow. There was a clear winner on the facts, which was Ryan, and I thought Ryan won because he was professional. But I think overall there was no knockout punch, so it was kind of, in some ways, could be a draw. Could be a draw. It's hard to tell. There haven't been new polls will more than likely come out this week. Well, speaking of polls, this one was really interesting. And, well, we picked this up courtesy of CBS 5, which is the CBS affiliate. And, of course, CNN also has reported this. And I think another news station here in town, the ABC affiliate, ABC 15, has also picked this one up. But this was kind of interesting. This is the title of the story that CBS 5 ran. We're going to look at this really fast. It says, new AZ poll, dead heat in presidential race, Latino vote the key. Now they're saying this was coming from, let me see, the Rocky Mountain poll, which was released on Saturday. Shows it's also neck and neck for the U.S. Senate, and for the first time in a long time, Arizona is looking like a battleground state. But this is not what caught my eye. What caught my eye is this says that the poll, which is one of the first to include Spanish speakers, shows that the race is so tight it could all come down to that group of voters. So basically, once again, the race cards being played here. And I mean, I don't know. It's sad because this is what has been happening. The Democrats obviously are scared of the Romney-Ryan ticket because their candidate does not have a record to run on. Yeah, Obama has no record. Of course, that may be a little skewed. He's got a record, it's just a bad one. We've got 47 million people on government assistance, like food stamps. 23 million people are out of work in this country, and 48% of the country is on some form of governmental assistance. Not to mention the Benghazi cover-up. 4 Americans were killed, including our ambassador in Libya. The Middle East being on fire. All of these things that are starting to come out. I don't know how Obama could be, well, even with Romney in the state of Arizona. And here's another reason why. Unemployment. The current unemployment numbers are not good. According to the Department of Economic Security, unemployment in the state of Arizona is 8.3. 20,000 new unemployment claims. These are new. These are people that just filed for unemployment last month. It was over 20,000. And then there's about 80,000 that are a little over 80,000 that are still collecting some benefits. Now, the unemployment numbers across the nation said it was 7.8%, which really didn't really even create enough jobs. Even if jobs were created, wasn't enough to say, hey, all of America is working again. They're not. And in fact, the number isn't even close to the unemployment. We did some fact checking. Looks like it's more close to 20%. Yes, the cats have really done their research as well, and it's abysmal because, number one, the unemployment numbers don't count people whose benefits have run out. It doesn't count those who've just given up and simply, dropped out of collecting unemployment because they've given up looking for work. And it doesn't count people who've started small businesses. And it's really rocky right now, the terrain to start a small business. A lot of small businesses have shut their doors thanks to Obama's policies. There's double taxation, there is the rising cost of fuel, rising cost of food, rising equipment costs. All of these problems that Obama has created, including Obamacare. That's causing some businesses to consider, hey, we've got full-time employees, we'll knock them down to part-time, or we'll just simply lay them off. And if an employee gets knocked down to part-time, in order to pay for it, to pay for health insurance, these employees and these workers are having to get another part-time job, possibly even a full-time job, to pay for their own medical care. So I don't see how Obama could be really leading anywhere. I don't know where people's thought processes are. People are waking up, though. Because amongst independents, Romney still leads. Romney is leading amongst independent voters. I think there have been quite a number of people that are now waking up. They have seen what Obama has done to this country. And I've actually talked with a couple of Democrats. And all of the ones that I've talked to. Shouldn't even say a couple. There's been more than 10. They've had buyer's remorse, and they're actually going to be voting for Romney. So there is a turn going here. Now in the key states like Ohio and Florida, Romney he's really caught up. I mean, his numbers have changed, and in fact, in a couple of polls, actually has Romney leading where Obama was leading before. So I think that here's the way it's going to go down. I think Romney's going to win. But we've got another debate coming up. This one is town hall style. And Obama seems to be, pretty comfortable with that. So Romney is actually going to be coming out, I think coming out swinging. He's blamed everybody for his failure in the first debate. He's blamed everyone else. Eventually said he just basically had a bad debate. No question, Obama is losing ground. And I think there's a lot of things on the man's mind right now. There's a new scandal that has shown up, which is kind of a repeat of 2008, which most people ignored and the mainstream media wouldn't report, was the fact that Obama's campaign has apparently been receiving foreign aid. That's right, foreign interests outside our country. Some foreigners have been sending money to Obama's campaign, which is against the law. It's basically against the election laws. So that one has broken. Fox News has talked about it. And a lot of the other conservative media has started to pick it up. Not hearing much about it in the liberal media. They all seem to be supporting Obama. Despite all of the stuff, they seem to be supporting him. But, of course, some of the liberals out there are now starting to question the anointed one. It's about time. We've questioned Obama since day one. And remembering him back in 2008, he was taking foreign money. In fact, it was, it was mentioned that Hamas, yes, Hamas, which is a known terrorist organization, was raising money for Obama and sending it to his campaign. Now, this wasn't reported in by the mainstream media then. It's certainly not being reported now. So that's a new scandal. There's the Benghazi incident where 4 Americans were killed in a terrorist attack. And, of course, now Congress has gotten involved, and they need to start questioning some things right now. That's what they're trying to do. They're trying to get to the bottom of it. Susan Rice, they need to ask her, who sent you out there? Who told you that the Benghazi incident was the result of a video, which was not really a video. Video was not at fault there. They've already mentioned it. The intelligence community has come out, said it was a planned terrorist attack. It was not some spontaneous thing that suddenly happened, because not too many people out there are going to bring a rocket-propelled grenade to a protest. Not going to happen. So Obama has still stuck behind that story despite the intelligence community saying, hey, it was a planned terrorist attack. So Obama's in a lot of trouble. All these scandals, all these things that have happened. Don't forget Fast and Furious. That thing has been blowing up in his face too. And so I don't see how Obama can be ahead in any poll. And it seems like there's just some more media spin. And I have to be a little bit critical of CBS 5 with this new headline stating that that Latinos are playing a key role in this vote. Now, there are Latino voters in this state, but I wouldn't say a majority of them are for Obama. I mean, that's really kind of hard to tell. But according to ABC 15 News, they only polled 500 voters. Now, amongst 500 voters, this is how polling usually works. They're supposed to poll evenly. But unfortunately, the Democrats are going to poll more Democrats than they are going to be Republicans or independents. Now, you can't really go a lot by polls, simply because the only poll that really matters is the final vote. Election Day, November 6th. That's where everything is going to be important. So you can't base everything on polls. we've kind of had a poll. I know ISIS, you've had a poll, right? And Icarus, you polled, and we're finding more and more humans, more and more people out there are planning on supporting Romney. And I think that I think those are the polls that really should matter. It's the one on November 6th. But we also are starting to see that Fox News needs to stop. I like watching Fox News. I like watching, Megyn Kelly and get up, in the morning, and I like watching Sean Hannity and Bill O'Reilly, and from time to time I like watching Greta as well. But I think they need to start talking to small business owners more about how this election affects them, more than how, getting the opinion of Steve Wynn and Donald Trump. Both successful people. Not going to knock them. They've been successful. So it's great that they have been so successful and they have done a lot in their lives. But I think that Fox News needs to start talking to small business owners and people that are in the trenches and talk to them. I'm a small business owner myself, but I'm not, being on the front line, it's unique. Obamacare definitely going to hurt small business. It's going to hurt big businesses, and that's another thing that they're having to deal with. So it affects us all across the board. And of course, Medicare also thrown into this. There's been the war on women that the Democrats actually started that war on women. The Republicans did not start that. We actually went, back. We went back and forth with the facts. We actually saw. We had to go do some real digging, and as an independent, seeing the war between the two parties, the Republicans are having to defend, their record against the Democrats. But the Democrats, they've resorted to class warfare in their ads. They've resorted to racism in their ads, and they've resorted to I guess it would be a sex war of the sexes, I guess. Male and female, man, woman, whatever. Not trying to be politically correct, so we'll go man and woman, because the male-female thing seems to work with the cats and the dogs and the four-legged creatures. But there's this war on women, and of course there's age warfare. I forgot. There's also an age warfare going on, an age race, I guess, like the commercial of Congressman Ryan pushing Granny off the cliff, trying to make seniors scared enough to vote for Obama. Well, I've taken a look at the Romney-Ryan plan for Medicare. Looks pretty solid to me. And in fact, it looks like a better opportunity because it may allow it definitely is going to open up competition, because under the Romney-Ryan plan, this will allow people more choices in the private sector, which controls medical insurance. Well, guess what? They're going to have to be competitive in the rates for Medicare, which I think works very well in the Romney-Ryan plan. I've taken a look at the economic plan. Now, I read this stuff. So it's not just from Fox News. I pick up all of this stuff, and you can also pick up information on the candidates' websites as well about where they stand. So there's a lot of information that's out there, and all you got to do is just do a little research like we did. And I think the only thing about the Romney-Ryan plan, and even Obamacare didn't mention veterinary costs for the animals. Because animals, they have medical costs too. Maybe that'll happen, after the election. Maybe Congress will have a medical plan that will include, the veterinary costs. I don't know. Anyway, want to get this point across as well because this is a political talking point in some respects. October 16th, which is this Tuesday, National Feral Cat Day. So you want to make sure that you read up about TNR if you're not doing it already. If you want to, TNR, which is Trap, Neuter, Return, definitely something to look at. If you've got a problem with feral cats, I know here in Arizona there's the Animal Defense League, has the Spay Neuter Hotline. You can get information about feral cats here locally in Phoenix. But if you're going to go on the national level, you can also check out Alley Cat Allies and get information about the feral cat lobby because it's kind of an important thing too. It's kind of a special note that October 16th is an important day, and definitely I think that despite the election, I'm going to take a look at one more point here online and see some of the facts about that in regards to the debate. That's going to be very interesting. That's going to be very interesting. That is going to be interesting because I'm looking this up right now and I'm not seeing it. I don't think that National Feral Cat Day is even going to be playing a role in this debate. Would be kind of an interesting twist. I would hope that either one of the candidates would actually mention National Feral Cat Day. I think it's important. Can't forget the four-legged creatures out there. I love my family members, Isis and Icarus. Love you both. I think it's important that that candidates talk about it. It would be kind of interesting. So really, this whole election is really getting very interesting. Also locally, I want to talk about the race for sheriff. Just going to bring this up really quick between, I think he's former Phoenix police officer Paul Penzone is going up against the current sheriff, Joe Arpaio. I have actually sent quite a few questions to Paul Penzone's campaign and never hear back from them. Why? Don't know. We already know where Arpaio stands on a lot of the issues because Arpaio has, he's put himself out there with the media and he's been very direct and we know where he stands. But I wanted to know where Paul Penzone stand in his race for sheriff. He's the Democratic challenger. But I have not heard anything back. So I've got to wonder about that. I think Arpaio has his supporters, and clearly I think it's they're saying that in the media here that it's going to be a close race, but I don't know. It's too early to tell because November 6th, that's when it all counts. So it'd be interesting to see if we even get a reply before Election Day. I'm not betting on it. But in the race for sheriff, I think there's a really good chance right now that as close as it is, I think there's going to be an Arpaio win again, and I think he's going to get reelected because there's still quite a number of people that like him. They think he's doing a good job. He, in regards to the illegal, immigration. He's basically been enforcing the immigration laws. He's been doing his job on that. The animal abuse. Now, this is interesting because this has not come into play. And I don't know why Arpaio is not utilizing this tool because he's got a very strong base here in regards to animals. I think that I really haven't seen any of his ads recently that involve animals too much. I think he needs to play on that because he's created the Animal Cruelty Enforcement Unit that goes after the people that abuse animals, and also the MASH unit, which he created to give the animal victims of abuse a second chance at a good, loving home. So he's done that, and he's been very, very good to the animal rescue community. So he needs to start playing that one up. And yeah, I think a lot of things that are just going on with this election, but I'd like to actually invite all of you to write in. You can write us in. Just, get on our website, www.catgalaxymedia.com. Send us an email. Send us tweets. We're on Twitter. We're on Facebook. And send us your views. We'd like to hear from you. And I think that's it. I think we've covered, we've got a good base, and I think it's going to be an interesting debate on Tuesday. But kind of interesting that it happened on National Feral Cat Day. But I don't think that candidates were, I don't think when they planned it and they planned the debates that they cared too much about the dates. So thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. And one more note, we'll be on breakingnewsjournal.net on Blog Talk Radio after the debates are over. Ruth White, the host of the show on Breaking News Journal, has invited me to come and give my viewpoint. So that's always good. I'll try to give the viewpoints of the cats as well, because I know Icarus has his views, Isis has her views, and I know the rest of the cats out there have their views too. So we're gonna put the we're gonna give the perspective from the from the cats, and well, give my own perspective. So just want to get that in. So we'll see you next time on Paws on Politics.